Fettuccine Alfredo. Time to carbo load.
Is what Michael did here wrong? What do carbs actually do, and how should you utilize them to maximize your athletic performance? To test this, I'll be showing you my lifts with and without carbs, demonstrating how it affects my overall output, and backing up my findings with actual science. This is a typical arm day of mine with my output listed on screen and my rate of perceived exertion right below it. At the base level, carbs are all built from carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, but the variation between carb forms comes from a differing total number of base units. Glucose, fructose, and galactose all contain a singular sugar molecule known as a monosaccharide. Glucose comes primarily from white bread, white rice, and Rice Krispies. I'm getting excited. Fructose comes primarily from fruit. Galactose is derived from dairy. Glucose and fructose are the fast-acting carbs, typically taken right before athletic activity, but they both differ from one another. Glucose and fructose are both digested quickly, but the main difference is that fructose travels initially to the liver, so it then can be converted to glucose and stored as liver glycogen. Glucose, on the other hand, raises blood glycogen levels immediately and is stored for immediate use within muscles and other tissues. What if I ate an apple instead of a Rice Krispie directly before my workout? Well, an apple still contains both fructose and glucose, but it's primarily the former. Fructose doesn't spike your insulin levels as much and doesn't raise your blood glycogen levels as quickly. Furthermore, it differs gastrointestinally. Fructose has a transporter called GLUT5, which has a transport capacity that differs from person to person. It's not always absorbed properly and can cause digestive issues when fermenting in your large intestine, such as bloating, cramping, and other issues. But some studies have found that because it doesn't spike your insulin and because it provides more stable glycogen levels, that it may be able to be better for longer endurance-based training. This study from 2026 found that endurance athletes who consumed carbs prior to their workouts stored more glycogen than those who didn't. The experiment group stored 8% more glycogen than those in the placebo group, meaning those who didn't take carbs prior had to rely more so on their glycogen stores, and thus accumulated more fatigue and couldn't produce as much ATP deeper into their workout. This new study from 2026 found that even simply swishing a carb mixture around in your mouth can create significant improvements in perceived exertion and the 4-kilometer time trials done by participants. This is crazy because you don't even need to consume carbs to get the benefits from consuming carbs. The sensory receptors in your mouth are tied to a brain region that activates motor activity and motivation, allowing athletes to sustain better performance for longer within workouts without even consuming carbs. You don't need to undergo all of the nasty negative side effects of eating a bunch of food right before a workout because you can just swish a carb mixture around in your mouth and get the same effect. All I've eaten today is bacon and eggs. I didn't get to eat my bagel this morning. I feel like a 40-year-old doing keto to better their health. Let's get this workout in, huh? What will it be like doing a lift without consuming any carbs before? A couple things begin to occur. I have to rely on my stored glycogen, which causes a negative effect the deeper I get into the workout, and especially if I were to do endurance-based training. I will also feel a higher perceived exertion on the same weight, and my pump won't be as good. I'll have less energy and feel more hunger towards the end and after my session. My mindset might also get affected. Stress hormones like cortisol and neurotransmitters like epinephrine, adrenaline, get released to help regulate blood glucose. Reducing carbs literally makes it harder to push myself. This meta-analysis from 2018 that combined the results of 46 studies found that consuming food, or specifically carbs, prior to exercise that lasts over 60 minutes has proven benefits. However, there's evidence to suggest that fasted training may burn slightly more fat, but when looking purely at the optimization of training, carbs are almost necessary. A 2023 sports medicine paper by the International Olympic Committee found that low-carb, high-fat diets have been linked to markers that indicate impaired bone remodeling and bone formation, a higher inflammatory response, and difficulty in iron regulation. These are all linked to an increase to the possibility of injury, especially when paired with overtraining. You can't optimize your training if you can't train. Injuries are for dorks. If you consistently train without consuming carbs before or after, you reduce your body's ability to recover from proper training volume. You become constantly sore.
All right, this is my friend after his first real intense leg day, and he's gonna try to walk up the stairs. You ready?
Can you just take the elevator?
No, go for it. Go for it, come on. That's great.
And your body now has to fight to create glucose through the form of gluconeogenesis from stored lactate, amino acids, and glycerol. Not fueling yourself properly places your body under a lot of stress and makes performing difficult consistently. It's like not feeding a parrot and expecting it to sit on your shoulder. When should you eat more starchy carbs? Starchy carbs are what's known as a polysaccharide. Like bagels, rice, oatmeal, and potatoes, they take longer to digest and can't be used as quickly as a monosaccharide because they take longer to break down. They don't spike your insulin levels as much, but are great for topping off your glycogen stores. Eating them 2 to 4 hours before a workout is optimal, and they are great for post-workout meals. During exercise, your muscles release a small signaling protein known as interleukin-6 or IL-6. It aids in muscle recovery and energy regulation, but when glycogen stores are lower, IL-6 is released at a higher rate, resulting in more inflammation. There's also something that researchers call the open window, a window where immune defenses are temporarily reduced following an extreme training load. Without carbs, this window is longer and more intense and results in a greater chance of you receiving adverse effects or illnesses. Carbs are so incredibly necessary for training, and most people don't actually consume them properly. It's so common to overconsume fats and simple sugars, which don't give people the intended effect that they're looking for. It's like searching through the garbage bin for a rabbit instead of looking in the garden. Prepping your body for workouts and allowing your body to recover goes hand in hand with eating the right carbs at the right times. Doing this would make you improve. Eat your carbs.